No, actually, it might have been Amelia, whoever it was. You were kind of talking about how to cover Trey McBride, this and that. One of the big talking points this year, and Matt LaFleur got on the media about this a little bit. Every year they try to find something to grab a hold of and attach to, right? Like, well, why is this happening, right? You know what I'm saying? It's always something. It's, well, why aren't you getting pressures? Okay, if you start to get pressures, well, how come you were giving up so many points in the first quarter or the second half or what have you, right? So Rob Domofsky tweeted out, defense coordinator Jeff Hafley joked that everyone wrote about their fourth quarter issues, so there must not be any questions, right? So he kind of took a little dig at him. You know, the big talk is, and you guys had people asking us the other day as well on the show, what's up with the second half defense? And you know what my my explanation was, it's real simple. You're playing with a lead, and now the clock's your opponent. That's why they're able to move the ball on you in the second half. They're just having to dink and dunk and eat up clock, and the goal is to win the ball game, right? That's what I seen on tape. That's what I seen in those situational aspects of the game. So Coach Hafley says, quote, "We'll work through it. To me, the goal is to play a complete football game." Does that not sound like what we talked about, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, we were having the same conversation, meaning the media was digging us about the second quarter. It makes you think.
Well, it makes some people think. Some of you guys are just never going to think, but we understand what Coach Half is saying there, right? Now we're talking about the second half. We're talking about the fourth quarter. So that's progress year to year for sure. At least that's how I take it.
Yeah, the way he walked into that press conference was, everybody's already got their stories written. You guys are just looking for a couple spots, right? Just a couple of fill-ins. And he was handing it to him this press conference, man. He got after him a couple times. But you're right. I mean, it's just like Rich, and how you don't talk about the special teams blocking unless you get a field goal block, and you don't talk about the defensive issues unless they're doing it. And it's like, what, the fourth quarter? He literally came in there knowing that basically every point they were going to bring up. He goes, "Oh, what, you're going to talk about, turnovers next? Oh, I should have been ready on that one. I already had the answer." Like, and it's just, it's crazy because, but he said, it does get me to think about how I want to answer that and how we could maybe approach that. And I think that you just got to look at it game by game and just get after it, the best way you can.
Yep. And LaFleur, Jacob, he had a similar answer to this question when listening to his presser. And it's just kind of like, it's not as simple as here's what's wrong. What's the down and distance on the play that you're talking about, right? What's the situation? What concepts does that team run heavy, right? Are they a run heavy team or are they a pass heavy team? Are they in more 12 to 21 personnel or 11 personnel? Do they run a gap scheme or do they run a flow scheme? Like, what? There's so many questions that come into. It's not just as simple as you guys have struggled in the fourth quarter, and we want to know why.
Yeah, I agree. And much like we watched the progression of All Shucks Matt to two-pack Matt LaFleur, I think we're seeing a little bit of a transition of Jeff Hafley. When we came on the scene, we talked about it multiple times. I was like, man, this guy is so generous in interviews, and he actually takes time and to answer each question like methodically and very like intently, and really gives them like rounded out answers that don't sound like fluff and BS and all this. And if you keep poking that man, you keep prodding the bear, and if you keep kind of, making comments that are a little bit backhanded and snide, all of a sudden you're going to unleash a little bit of a, I don't know, Tim. We might have to come up with a new. What would Jeff Hafley?
You're going to unleash this Jeff Hafley.
Get over here! Built to ass, BTA. Know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying there, bro. Exactly. And I love to see it too. And I don't want this man to sit up there and get, like I said, basically, I hate the way that sometimes the media. I don't think there's anybody in specific, but every now and then you listen to a question and that wasn't a question, that was a comment, or that was you trying to kind of get yourself a little blurb somewhere or get, a quote here or there. And I think that you can see that Matt and Jeff are just looking at each other like, I'm done with this. We're halfway through the season almost. Nice guy faces coming off, and I'm going to start.
Sit your butt outside.
Yeah.
Exactly. Amelia, what do you think? You got anything to add to that? We kind of talked about it a little bit during Chalk Talk, right? Second, it depends on how the game's going, right? It really does. And why did we have a better second half defense last year as opposed to this year? We were playing from behind quite a bit, right? Mm-hmm. What's that tell you? Maybe the defense wasn't that good in the second half last year, but opposing offenses are doing the same thing we're doing this year, right? They're just kind of let's play the clock here.
Well, yeah, but exactly to that point, they had the worst problems in the second quarter of how they were scoring the most, how other teams were doing all this last year. They get up, okay, then the defense turns it on in the second half because the other team's already up. We're just trying to catch up and get back in the game. So that's, I mean, it really is. The clock is you only get 60 minutes. That's half of your battle you're thinking about the whole time. You can really lose a game just by mismanaging it. So I'm not mad at it, and obviously, if you're up 3 touchdowns, if we go up 3 touchdowns and we run 0 man and somebody gets beat over the top, I mean, Twitter will just fall apart, right? Like, it will just come down the entire, and we'll still be up 2 touchdowns. But the fact that happened in that moment, and so I think that's where it's like, dude, you just got to be happy with it. We're just going to bend all the way to the 1. And if we hold them to a field goal, that was a great drive on the defense, right? Yep. And then hopefully eventually those turnovers start happening, gets colder, ball gets slicker, you're up north, whatever happens. I think that you got to play the long game here. You can't be hitting hole in one on the first hole and then expected to hit a hole in one the rest of the course there. It's not going to happen.
And this defense responds too, right? We saw that after the Jordan Love pick, right? They responded 3 and out, get the ball back. You're not getting splash plays and a bunch of takeaways, but if you're going out there and making them punt, giving that ball back to your offense, that's a good sign, right?
Yep.
I don't mean to laugh, Tim, but I just caught a comment here. My God. 2-0 for this. We're going to start calling Stenovich Stenem. Is that how you say it?
Stenem.
Stenem. That would be it, right? So we need another Photoshop. We got to put Adam Stenovich's big offensive lineman body with Eminem's head on it. Right?
And let them argue over who's the real Slim Shady.
Exactly.
There you go.
Nothing slim about boy Stenovich. I'm just telling you. Joe Pack says, I want to see a defensive performance so dominant. Hafley walks in, says, check the box score, drops a mic, and walks out. Those are them deuces. Walks out like this right here, boys. You know, same as goes. That's the way it needs to happen. I love Haf. I love LaFleur. I put an article together. If we have time, we'll hit it. We may hit it tomorrow. I might do a midday show. Just like Matt LaFleur's resume is unbelievable. You understand he's been coaching, and I don't want to get too deep into it because we'll talk about it later. Matt LaFleur has been coaching since 2003. So 22 years coaching, and he has never been demoted. The closest thing he's seen to a demotion was the coaching staff got fired in Washington, and he went from being quarterbacks coach in Washington with the then Redskins back to Notre Dame quarterback coach there, right? So it wasn't really a demotion. It's that coaching staff got scrapped, and someone else picked him up. He decided to go back to the college game. And then, of course, he came back to Atlanta, quarterbacks coach there. We'll talk about all the MVP ties. He's basically got let me see what it is here, 2 different quarterbacks that he was either the offensive coordinator or the quarterbacks coach that won MVPs, Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan. He also has under his belt an offensive rookie of the year in Robert Griffin. He was the quarterbacks coach for him. Right. And then when he went that 1 year to the LA Rams, Jared Goff had a phenomenal year, made the Pro Bowl. They went from a 4-win team to like a 12-win team or 11-win team. Right. So everywhere he's went, they've had success. Probably shouldn't say this. The fans that are calling for Matt LaFleur's job, I'm just petty enough that I almost want it to happen just so they can see what you get. Because I'm telling you, the second that the Packers would fire Matt LaFleur, he's got a head coaching job like that.
No.
He's 13th all-time in winning percentage. Guys, if he wins this Sunday, guess who he's going to pass in winning percentage? Next on the list, Paul Brown. You guys know who Paul Brown is. If you don't, Paul Brown was arguably the greatest pioneer in the game of professional football.
They don't name stadiums after you if you didn't do anything.
So they actually named the team after him. Like the Browns, you know why they're called the Browns? It's because they were Paul Brown's team. He was their coach. You know how they used to remember back in the 90s, Tim, we were growing up watching football, how they would have the still images on the sideline. They're going through the pictures. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. You know who started that? Paul Brown. Paul Brown.
Yeah, he bribed a kid to run up and down from the press box down to the field.
Yeah. He had him basically had a photographer at the top of the stadium taking pictures, taking Polaroids, and then they paid a kid to run the pictures down to Paul Brown on the sideline so they could see the above, like the all 22 basically is the first version of that. Then later on, they installed a cable where they could slide the pictures up and down, right? Like they could slide them down to the sideline. They did that. Also, his quarterback kept getting his face destroyed in this one game. They kept punching his quarterback and like breaking it. It broke his nose. I think it knocked some teeth out. So he's the one who created the face mask, right? And what he did was he had them come up with this composite material that was strong enough it wouldn't break. It's about the size of your pinky. That way, if someone came in and tried to punch his quarterback, they were going to break their hands. What was going to happen, right?
How about these hands?
I don't know if he.
Sorry, you said pinky. It got me thinking about The Rock. Sorry.
I don't know if his family still owns the patent, but for the longest time, Paul Brown owned the patent on the face mask for a football helmet. That's who that is. And then when they let him go, believe it or not, it was Art Modell came in, bought the team, and he ran Paul Brown out of town. Paul Brown immediately got a head coaching job with the Cincinnati Bengals and went on to do great things there. So I say all that because Matt LaFleur, if he wins this Sunday, he passes Hall of Fame coach Paul Brown in winning percentage. Paul Brown's sitting at 672. Next on the list after that is the great Don Shula, the only coach to have an undefeated team. So,
Is that good?
Yeah. Mrs. Green says, I love that Clayton called Tim out specifically about watching football in the 90s like Emilio wasn't even alive. Hashtag no chance. Emilio, what year were you born, bro?
95.
Oh, screw yourself, dude.
Wow.
Jacob was born in, what was it, 76, Jacob?
87. Come on now.
All right.
Come
So
on.
anyway,
Put me on blast. I'm clearly the oldest one in the room here. Oh.
Bro, Emilio, you were born. So you weren't even born when Ace Ventura came out?
No, that's a great movie, though. I know
Yes,
multiple lines.
Oh, good.
Hey,
listen, in the top,
he can still appreciate the classics.
Yeah, at least I've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Clayton.
Oh,
I
burn!
love that one.
whoa,
Shots fired.
shots fired. Listen, since we've already dove into this a little bit, let's just go ahead and hit this article real quick, okay? It'll be fast. It's not really an article; it's just a bunch of stats here, okay? So Matt LaFleur, I said, is an elite coach. I know many people disagree with that. All right, 13th all-time winning percentage. I wanted to hit this because look at the. You notice the plus signs here, guys? These plus signs down here. That means they're a Hall of Fame coach. In the top 41 coaches, Matt LaFleur has a higher winning percentage than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's Curly Lambeau. 8. No, yeah, 8. What are we up to? 9. 9 Hall of Fame head coaches have less of a winning percentage than Matt LaFleur. All it's going to take for Matt LaFleur is one Super Bowl ring, and he's a slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer. That's what's going to end up happening. And we got fans that want to run him out of town. It's absolutely wild. So a couple other things. I've talked about it since 2003. You see, he's just done nothing but climb the ranks the entire time. We'll talk about what each of those stops had here. Most recently, Matt LaFleur's scoring rank by year. Points per play, Matt LaFleur starting in 2019, 12th, then jumped all the way to 1st, 11th, 16th, 7th, 8th, and 11th. He's always inside the top 10 with the exception of what? 3 seasons there, and 2 of which were just one ranking outside of the top 10 in terms of points per play. Yards per play, so overall offense, right? Yardage gain. Starting in 2019, 15th, 2nd, 8th, 11th, 5th, and 8th. Keep in mind, too, the 5th, and 8th there, that, and obviously he's ranked 8th right now this year, our offense is. That's with another quarterback, guys. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You literally promoted another quarterback to be your starter, and the results were 5th best offense, and now your 8th best offense this year, which I think that's going to go up. He's going to finish in the top 5. Now, ties the top quarterbacks, right? Robert Griffin III. In 2012, he was your offensive rookie of the year. Matt LaFleur was the quarterback's coach for the Washington Redskins in 2012. The same year he tutored rookie quarterback Robert Griffin III. Under LaFleur's guidance, Griffin III won the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, becoming the first rookie quarterback in franchise history to do so and be selected for the Pro Bowl. Let's move it along. He goes to Atlanta with Kyle Shanahan, right? Matt Ryan. Matt LaFleur was the quarterback's coach for the Atlanta Falcons in 2016. The same year, quarterback Matt Ryan won the NFL MVP award. During that season, Ryan led the league with a 117.1 passer rating and was named AP NFL Most Valuable Player. Move it along to the LA Rams, 2017, Jared Goff, right? In 2017, Matt LaFleur served as the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams and worked closely with quarterback Jared Goff under coach Sean McVay. Under LaFleur's guidance, Goff experienced a significant improvement, and the Rams offense saw a dramatic turnaround Jared Goff had 3,804 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions in 15 games with a passer rating of 100.5. He was selected to his first Pro Bowl that year, and they basically led the Rams the year before. They were 4-12. Matt LaFleur shows up, Goff takes off, and they win 11 games that year and make the playoffs, right? And then, of course, you fast forward to your time in Green Bay and 2019 to 2022 with Aaron Rodgers. During their time together with the Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur coached Aaron Rodgers to 2 NFL MVP awards in 20 and 21. The duo led the team to 3 consecutive 13-3 seasons, 2019 to 21. Rodgers winning the MVP trophy in the first 2 of those years. Like, how many stops does he got to have where there's success before you finally look up and go, okay, maybe it is Matt LaFleur. Maybe he's a good coach, right?
Got to stop at the 50-yard line holding up the Lombardi trophy. That's
it. That's the only thing that's left, right?
Yep.
And I could care less about the Coach of the Year award. Obviously, you win 13 games 3 years in a row and you can't get the Coach of the Year. There's just something wrong with that.
Yep.
Yeah. So final tally, while now climbing to 13th all-time in winning percentage as a head coach, Matt LaFleur also coached his quarterbacks to 3 MVP awards, 1 Rookie of the Year award, and multiple Pro Bowls. He now has Jordan Love ranked as a top 5 quarterback with 3rd best odds to win the NFL MVP in 2025. So, again, put some respect on that damn man's name. It's unbelievable, man.
Look at the gray in that beard, man. Look at that. Yeah. That's veteran leadership right there. That's full Tupac LaFleur mode right there. Absolutely. I like going down memory lane, seeing those pictures from the Atlanta days and the aw shucks Matt days, as Jacob would say, right? The aw shucks Matt LaFleur days. Look at that right there with RG3. Look at before he had the eyebrow game on fleek, back in the day.
You can see it was coming. What's weird though is like everybody talks about Kevin O'Connell as this great quarterback whisperer, and don't get me wrong, he deserves a lot of those accolades. But I'd like to see did he make 3 MVPs? Did he make a Rookie of the Year? Did he? Guy that everybody claimed was maybe on the downward slide, possibly even washed, and win 13 games in 3 years each. To me, he has never been named Coach of the Year, correct?
That's correct.
Never even really been talked about on modern TV or national TV unless they're just absolutely dragging this man through the dirt. I will say he probably gets a lot more TV time than most coaches because they understand that there's a lot more ladies watching the NFL, and sometimes they like to see that eye candy on the sidelines. I get that. All right, I do. But I'm just saying, like to Clayton's point, you got to put a little bit of respect on that guy's name, man.
Jacob, does he have the best haircut in the NFL or what?
Ooh, I think so. Have you ever seen when he goes to the barber to get lined up?
Oh, he's whoever the barber is there, Tim. You need to get his number. I'm about to go up there next time, and I need a touch up.
We got to find out who that is. We might have to hit up Easton Butler.
I'm telling you,
there you go.
That is the news we need. Because I mean, for real, Matt's probably got the best hair out of the top 15 of all time, right? Clay, winning percentage, no problem.
2-0 for this says Brian Dayball's the eye candy. he ate plenty of eye candy, that's for sure. Hit that triple chin going. Respect Oranges says Matt LaFleur looks like a prison guard, and he came back and said BTA Penitentiary. I love it, absolutely love it. We need to create a prison guard. We need to create a prison guard. What am I trying to say? A Photoshop and just put BTA Penitentiary on it, man.
We got to do it. We got to grab a screen grab from Shawshank, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. All right. Anything else on Matt LaFleur, guy? I figure we just go ahead and knock that out since we talked about it already a little bit.
Yes, it's pronounced Tupac LaFleur.